Welcome to this in-depth video summary of John Gray's renowned book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. This video explains the ideas behind each chapter while using key quotations and examples from the book to illustrate its core messages. The book's central premise is that many conflicts in relationships arise from the natural differences between the sexes. Let's explore each chapter in detail. Introduction. The book opens by emphasizing that the primary source of relationship problems is not a lack of love, but a failure to recognize that men and women operate from entirely different emotional worlds. Using the metaphor that men are from Mars and women are from Venus, Gray illustrates that each gender has its own language, needs, and ways of coping with stress. For example, Gray recalls a pivotal moment when his wife, after giving birth, exclaimed, "I've been in pain all day. I ran out of pills. I've been stranded in bed and nobody cares." This raw expression of hurt underscores how easily misunderstandings can occur when one partner's way of coping, seeking empathy rather than a quick fix, is not recognized. The introduction sets the stage for understanding that accepting these inherent differences is the first step toward resolving conflicts. Chapter 1. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. This opening chapter introduces the book's central metaphor. Gray explains that men and women are like inhabitants of two different planets, each with its own set of emotional codes. He points out that many conflicts start because each partner expects the other to think, feel, and behave exactly as they do. For instance, Gray writes, "We mistakenly assume that if our partners love us, they will react and behave in the same way we do." This idea is crucial because it challenges readers to reconsider their expectations. When one partner is upset, a man might expect a rational, solution-based response, while a woman might simply want to be heard and comforted. Recognizing that these differences are not flaws, but natural variances can significantly reduce frustration and pave the way for better mutual understanding. Chapter 2. Mr. Fix-It and the Home Improvement Committee. Chapter 2 delves into how the two genders approach problems. Men are often quick to jump into action, becoming the Mr. Fix-It who immediately tries to solve any issue. In contrast, women tend to seek validation and emotional support rather than immediate solutions. A frequently repeated complaint in the book is that men don't listen. This reflects the reality that when a woman expresses her feelings, her primary need may be empathy, not a ready-made solution. Gray explains that this mismatch can lead to feelings of neglect. By learning to pause and ask, "Do you want advice or just someone to listen?" couples can avoid unnecessary frustration. This chapter encourages both partners to respect each other's natural responses, reminding men that sometimes the best help is simply to listen. Chapter 3. Men Go to Their Caves and Women Talk. Gray illustrates the different ways in which each gender deals with stress. Men, he explains, tend to retreat into what he calls their caves when overwhelmed. This withdrawal is not a sign of emotional detachment. Rather, it is a natural way for many men to process their thoughts and emotions in solitude. On the other hand, women find solace in talking about their problems. They seek out conversation as a way to work through their feelings and gain support. This difference often leads to misunderstandings. What one partner sees as necessary solitude, the other might interpret as disinterest. Gray reassures readers that these behaviors are normal and advises couples to communicate openly about their needs during stressful times, so that the man's silence isn't misinterpreted and the woman's need for dialogue is met with patience. Chapter 4. How to Motivate the Opposite Sex. Chapter 4 examines what drives each gender emotionally. Gray asserts that men are primarily motivated by the feeling of being needed. When they know their actions make a difference, they feel valued and driven. In contrast, women are motivated when they feel cherished and emotionally secure. This chapter highlights that the same act of love can be interpreted differently depending on who is giving and receiving it. For example, a small act of service may fulfill a man's need for validation, whereas a thoughtful compliment might satisfy a woman's need to feel appreciated. Gray emphasizes that understanding these motivational differences is essential. When couples learn to tailor their gestures to meet these specific needs, they create an environment where both feel nurtured and supported. Chapter 5. Speaking Different Languages. Communication is the cornerstone of any relationship, and in Chapter 5, Gray addresses the ways in which men and women often speak in different languages. It is not that the words are inherently different, but rather the meanings and emotional weights attached to those words vary between the sexes. Gray introduces the idea of a Martian-Venusian phrase dictionary to illustrate that identical phrases may have entirely distinct connotations. For instance, when a man says, "I'm fine," it might indicate that he is quietly processing something, while a woman's "I'm fine" could be a signal that she needs reassurance or a listening ear. By understanding that these differences exist, couples can learn to ask clarifying questions rather than making assumptions, leading to more effective and compassionate communication. Chapter 6. Men are like rubber bands. Chapter 6 uses a memorable analogy comparing men to rubber bands. After a period of intimacy or closeness, many men naturally require some space to recoil and recharge. This temporary withdrawal is not an indication of lost love or commitment. It is simply part of a natural emotional cycle. Gray suggests that women can support their partners by understanding that this pullback is temporary and necessary for a man's emotional well-being. Instead of feeling rejected, women are encouraged to view these moments as opportunities for both partners to refresh and ultimately reconnect more deeply. This analogy helps to normalize the ebb and flow of intimacy and reassures couples that periodic distance can lead to renewed closeness. Chapter 7. Women are like waves. In contrast to the male need for occasional space, Chapter 7 describes how women's emotional expressions often follow a wave-like pattern. Women's moods and feelings tend to rise and fall in a natural rhythm, with periods of intense closeness, followed by moments when they might feel vulnerable or in need of extra reassurance. Gray advises that men should not take these fluctuations personally. Instead, they should offer consistent support during the low phases, understanding that these waves are a natural part of a woman's emotional landscape. Recognizing and respecting this cycle can help couples navigate the highs and lows more effectively, leading to a more balanced and empathetic relationship. Chapter 8. Discovering our different emotional needs. Chapter 8 focuses on the core emotional needs of each gender. Gray notes that men typically thrive on a love that is trusting, accepting, and appreciative. Feeling respected and valued for their contributions helps men to open up and share more deeply. In contrast, women often need a love that is caring, understanding, and respectful. Their emotional fulfillment comes from feeling truly seen and supported. Gray reinforces this by stating, "Women primarily need a kind of love that is caring, understanding, and respectful." By identifying these specific needs, couples can tailor their interactions and support to ensure that each partner feels genuinely understood. This chapter provides practical advice on how to meet these needs, encouraging partners to engage in small, thoughtful acts that build a foundation of mutual respect and intimacy. Chapter 9. How to avoid arguments. Arguments are inevitable in any relationship, but Chapter 9 offers strategies to keep conflicts from escalating. Gray explains that a major source of disagreement is the tendency for men to insist on being right, which can inadvertently dismiss a woman's feelings. At the same time, women might express disapproval in ways that make a man feel constantly criticized. Gray warns, men will learn that by acting as if they are always right, they may invalidate a woman's feelings. The chapter advises both partners to shift their focus from proving a point to understanding each other's perspectives. By practicing empathetic listening and choosing words carefully, couples can avoid the pitfalls of blame and criticism, fostering a more respectful and supportive dialogue even during disagreements. Chapter 10. Scoring points with the opposite sex. In Chapter 10, Gray emphasizes that both grand gestures and small everyday actions contribute significantly to a relationship's health. While some may think that only major, elaborate expressions of love matter, the book stresses that the little things often carry the most weight. Gray explains, the little expressions of love are just as important. This chapter details how consistent, thoughtful actions, like a sincere compliment, a handwritten note, or a small act of kindness, can accumulate over time to create a reservoir of goodwill between partners. These small gestures often serve as daily reminders of care and commitment, reinforcing the emotional bond and making the relationship more resilient in the long run. Chapter 11. How to communicate difficult feelings. Expressing negative emotions can be one of the most challenging aspects of any relationship. Chapter 11 introduces the love letter technique, a method designed to help individuals articulate their difficult feelings in a constructive manner. Rather than venting in the heat of an argument, writing down emotions allows for a thoughtful and measured expression of pain or frustration. This technique helps to ensure that the message is communicated clearly and without unnecessary hurt. By taking the time to reflect before speaking, partners can turn potentially destructive outbursts into opportunities for growth, understanding, and eventual healing. Chapter 12. How to ask for support and get it. Asking for support can be a delicate matter. In Chapter 12, Gray explores why women may sometimes struggle to request help and why men might respond defensively when approached. The key lies in the phrasing. Simple requests framed as demands, for example, "Can you?" or "Could you?" may inadvertently put pressure on the listener, leading to resistance. Gray suggests that softer, more inviting language can make a significant difference. When couples learn to express their needs in a gentle and non-pressuring way, it creates an atmosphere in which both partners feel comfortable offering and receiving support. This chapter provides practical tips on how to modify language and tone to foster a more cooperative environment. Chapter 13. Keeping the Magic of Love Alive. In the final chapter, Gray takes a realistic look at the evolution of love over time. He compares relationships to the changing seasons, each with its own cycle of growth, rest, and renewal. There are periods of intense closeness and passion, as well as times when the spark may seem to wane. However, these changes are natural and manageable when both partners commit to nurturing their connection. Gray reminds readers, remembering that we are supposed to be different will help you to be more loving. This chapter underscores that the magic of love is sustained not by constant perfection, but by the willingness to adapt, accept, and continuously invest in one another. By embracing the natural cycles of a relationship, couples can maintain a deep, enduring bond even through life's inevitable ups and downs. In summary, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus offers timeless insights into the dynamics of relationships by explaining the natural differences between the sexes. Through understanding and respecting these differences, from communication styles to emotional needs, couples can transform conflicts into opportunities for deeper connection and lasting love. Thank you for watching this detailed exploration of each chapter. If you found these insights helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel Books at a Glance, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Which chapter resonated the most with you? This book has guided many to healthier relationships, and it may just offer the breakthrough you need.